Okay, mate. So you're still in AXS. So you're still in. You stopped out twice. Your last one is covering the other moves. Well, I mean, the the initial short was perfect. If you had that patience and understood the structure, it was very very nice. You can see here, no matter what way you draw that trend line here, you have the stop. You have a If you actually zoom it in, there's a bit of a head and shoulders on the top here. If you look again, there's another head and shoulders here that bounces and rejects price. And from the rejection, we continue to go down. I would say this is into support here. I don't think it's done, but I do think we bounce, right? I think from somewhere in here, we could bounce up here, back up here. I don't know where your third entry is. But I do think we bounce up somewhere and then we even go lower again. Um, let's just zoom out here, look at the daily chart. Like I think it goes lower, but I do think you need to be careful with a bounce back up. I think price is coming down here to the 9 EMA, or the yellow 9 EMA. I think we're coming down in here. Uh, At this point, I took 50% off the table and a stop here on profit, and I will just see how that plays out. I think we can come down here. Um, the issue is, well, look at this. Look at the 3-day chart. It's beautiful at this point. It's exactly what you would want, and this kind of implies that there should be more downside. Nothing is guaranteed in the market, but it is decent. Now, as we know, the weekly, there is likely to be some bounce back up, into the wick on the weekly, before moving lower. In theory, right? That's a possibility. So it might want to bounce up, and then we could drop further down, depending on Bitcoin, depending on everything else. In the next week, there's it's a very strong candle, but sometimes you open up and just have a red week back down, a red 2 week back down actually, like something like here. You get that red candle back down to 50% of the body, a retrace back down into this area. If the market is a little bit bearish, you can get that dip right back down. If I take you to the daily chart, where is that? Well, that's actually down below where my target is of the yellow 9 daily EMA. That would be my target here, but it can go lower. I have taken some profits off the table here. Um, like you, I don't want to give up my profits in the worry that something like this would happen. Like last time, well, you can see here, last time we got a big green candle back up after a down day, after this kind of down day. Are we going to get the same back up just to retest the highs? It is possible considering the strength of this. So it's good to protect yourself, and maybe have that break even stop. If it's very weak, there'll not be much bounce, and we'll just continue to roll over, which is obviously ideal for shorts. So at this point we are breaking structures. There's a few different ways of looking at it. Um, well, you got resistance up here now. You want price to get up here and fail and make another leg lower. You could actually look at this and say this potentially could be a larger break-in structure, um, and maybe it'll bounce back up into the structure. So the bounce could even be a little bit higher, get up here, fail, and then roll over. So I don't know where your entry is, but when you get a large 25% drop, usually there's some sort of bounce. If I zoom out, I mean, you really can see that this. I mean, like where do you want to draw that? I mean, I suppose there you can see we tended to fake out. We got back above, and the trend stayed above. But this time is a conclusive break, and it may be wanting to put in slightly more bearish structure. Maybe you want to cover your losses, take the profits to cover the previous losses, and then have a stop at break even, for example. And that way, you're not fighting uphill. You have covered them losses, and if this doesn't work out and you get stopped at a break even, so be it. you can then try and find a better entry next time. If this continues to drop, then you can look to take the profits.